Okay, good morning, traders. Today is January 2nd, 2024. My SPY pivot this morning is 475. Above I'm a bull, below I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5, FNGU, DIA, SPY, IWM, and QQQ remain in bullish daily chart uptrends. QQQ and SPY are in the 3/8 trap. Diamond Dow, Russell 2000, WIWM, and FNGU closed below the 8 EMA on the daily charts. Gold remains bullish, pulling back to test the support of a prior high. USO, that'd be crude oil, technically in an uptrend, but failed to hold price above the daily downtrend. Kind of the same thing we saw last week. UNG finally in a daily uptrend and consolidating at the $5 level. Breaking through the downtrend line. So nice work for UNG. US dollar index maintains its daily downtrend, but it has retraced back up to test the rubber band candle. All right, let's go look at some charts. Good morning, Ron. Let's move this out of the way. Here's SPY closing in. Here's the 3, that'd be the yellow line. White line here is the 8, 3/8 trap coming down here. So you can see it's right in the middle of the 3 and the 8 right there, still bullish, making higher lows and higher highs on the daily chart. Did make a higher high last week, but actually got a lower high and a lower low, but still in a daily uptrend. This pullback is normal. Nothing to be surprised about. We are gapping down a little bit this morning. So let's look at some of the morning figures. We are down here. This is the FOMC right here. This is the FOMC anchored VWAP. So below that, I'm probably going to be bearish if they're underneath that. My SPY pivot this morning is 475. And let me put a line in for that. So that's right about right there. Okay, so you can see it's underneath this, underneath all of this consolidation here, but above this breakout right up there. So 475. That's my SPY pivot this morning. All right, so where are we looking for the downside? Well, I would think that the FOMC anchored VWAP would hold. So I think probably going to get a spike of the FOMC anchored VWAP, and we'll see what happens from there. I don't think it goes much further. Last time they came down to test this uptrend line. So let's look at another chart. Let's look at that on the daily. All right, and that's not the chart I wanted. And here we go. All right, so here's the uptrend line. And we want the hourly chart. So we're testing this channel up here. So I don't think we come back down into this channel, but we could test this low right down to 471.06, 470.92 area. Let's see where that candle opened up. 470.98, so right about 471. And then probably move back up later today. We'll see. There's SPY. All right, let's go take a look at QQQ. So here's QQQ. Again, closing in the 3/8 trap, lower high, lower low. Pulling back at this time, and they're probably going to test this low right here that they had, 402. Maybe not that bad. Maybe about 404.50 for QQQ. QQQ in a daily uptrend, but a lower high and a lower low yesterday, last week. Let's take a look at IWM. Also in a daily uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, pulling back to the 8 EMA here, lower high and lower low on the daily candle from last week, and IWM still in an uptrend. pull back below this 8 EMA. Let's see where we got some minor support. Where would be a logical pullback would be to some minor support. And probably looking at this area right here, right on top of that green candle, 198.94. So basically 199. Look for IWM, a possible pullback to test the 199 level and maybe even 197.95. Test the minor support and then go off to make higher highs. So there's IWM. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow, lower hot. Oh, wait. Let's just look at it one more time. Yeah, lower high, lower low on last week's candle. Still in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. A test of prior high would be normal for Diamond Dow. Now, they did pull back and do that already once. So now I think a pullback to probably the midpoint here would be in order. And the midpoint is roughly 374.14. And they're at 374.83. So a spike of the midpoint. So there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU putting in a lower high, lower low, closing below the 8 EMA on the daily chart. Still in a daily uptrend. Got a higher low and a higher high up here. Okay, so pull back to, well, right up there. That shoulder line would be normal. And then, of course, halfway up, let's take the midpoint, which would be probably right over the shoulder line, 214.68. So it could be a deep pullback. Remember, a lot of these indices didn't put in any foundations. They didn't put any stair stringer in. There's not much to hold them up other than the prior highs or the prior peaks that we made last year. So it could just keep melting. I don't know what it's going to do. It's very bullish at this time. I don't see it just melting like that, but it did not put in anything for support, any support zones that would provide it support other than just little intraday support. That's all it has. On the daily chart, it did not put any of the work in. It just went right there, and who knows if it just rolls over from there. You got the V bottoms. We could see a V top. So there's FNGU. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH kind of pulling back, still in an uptrend, right in the 3/8 trap there. XLF. Lower high, lower low, right in the 3/8 trap as well. And IYT, which would be my transports, below the 8 EMA. So transport's not looking quite as good as the other two. Let's take a look at USO. Okay, so USO, here's our daily downtrend line. And let me just extend that. Extend to the right. You can see we closed below, but still attached to that daily downtrend line. Technically, it's in an uptrend, making a higher high, but not able to break this downtrend line. We got a rubber band candle. See the clear candle out there? Stretched out away from the spiking candle. That's the rubber band candle. Notice how the price, the energy from the rubber band pulls it right back to the trend line. So there's USO. So still trading underneath the trend line. Now this morning it looks like it's well up over it. So maybe now we get a kind of a bungee effect where it stretches this way, now it stretches that way. We'll see what happens. But right now, still under. It was, as of Friday, underneath the downtrend line. So still it's in a downtrend on the daily, underneath the downtrend line on the daily chart, but technically in an uptrend, producing higher lows and higher highs. So there's USO, UNG. UNG creates a higher low and a higher high. So technically it's in an uptrend as well and breaking the downtrend line. So this could get very interesting. Popping up to 540. That's a really nice pop for a $5 stock to jump 50 cents, 40 cents like that. So UNG pulling up out of the gate here. Let's take a look at gold. Gold's been doing very well. Gold putting in higher lows and higher highs. Made another higher high last week. And you can see the markets are pulled back to the 3/8 trap. And now it's kind of in the pre-market, moving its way back up. So gold is looking good. And still in an uptrend. And it looks like it's pulling out of the 3/8 trap this morning. We'll see what it wants to do. Silver. All right, so silver, let's just extend this. Silver in an uptrend, producing a higher low and a higher high and another higher low. Pressure on the bulls to produce that higher high. Not quite able to do it. Got back to the midpoint and just kind of stalled there. So we'll see what happens this morning. We're back up, just consolidating in a bull flag here at the midpoint, SLV, at this time. All right, let's take a look at, what do I want to look at? Let's take a look at US dollar index. Here's a daily chart. Here's the rubber band candles. Notice how this one is attached to the flat 200. All right, so now we break the rubber band candle, come down here, and now we're pulling back to the trend line at this time, testing the rubber band candle to see if it's still broken. So here's the US dollar kind of pulling back at this time, but you know, we're still in a downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. Take a look at our economic calendar for today, 9:45. We got PMI manufacturing final, so I guess that's a revision possibly. Construction spending at 10 tomorrow. NBA mortgage application, got a Fed speaker, ISM at 10 a.m., JOLTS at 10 a.m., FOMC minutes coming out tomorrow at 2 p.m. So we'll see what happens there, what they're going to look at. So from there, we'll go to NASDAQ earnings calendar. Nothing really substantial here, just 6 million. We'll take a look for tomorrow. And nothing really substantial there. We'll see, we got millions, just 3 billion there. Cal Maine, 2 billion. Nothing really notable. Let's take a look at Thursday. All right, we got, there's millions. There's billions. Walgreen Boots, 22 billion. Not really, but it's in the banking sector, so we'd like to see it do well. Friday, Constellation Brands, 44 billion. So there's some alcohol right there. So nothing real notable, nothing that's really going to move the markets this week. All right, other than FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. All of this stuff could move the markets a little bit here and there, sling it around, but I think the main event this week is the FOMC minutes. And that's it for the morning market update. I'm starting to count off with 30,000 this morning, and we'll see how it goes. All right, I'll take questions in the room, and if not, I'm going to render my video. I don't know how long I'm going to stay here today. I think it's a half day for moderators if possible, and I may take advantage of that. So if you got any questions, let me know. Good morning, Cosborn, Julie, and Ron. All right, so from there, I'm going to go ahead and render the video.